This is a recording of the Senior to Sophomore Step-by-Step Application Tutorial.
The first step is going to the St. Cloud State University website. In the upper right-hand corner, type in S2S in the search bar, and you will be brought to the Senior to Sophomore webpage. At this time, you will select Apply Online. Students will need to either log in with an existing STAR ID or create a STAR ID. At this time, it is important to note that students only need to apply one time.
Students who have already applied to or participated in the Senior to Sophomore program at St. Cloud State University should not apply again. A new application may create a duplicate record and cause delays. Students that have participated in a concurrent enrollment program at any other Minnesota State institution should use the same STAR ID to log in to the SCSU application system. Please note, students only have one STAR ID across all Minnesota State colleges and universities. STAR IDs are 2 letters, 4 numbers, 2 letters, like AD 1234 CD. Student IDs, or Tech IDs as they're called at St. Cloud State, differ per institution. If you can't remember your STAR ID and/or you need to reset your password, open a new window in a browser and go to starid.minstate.edu. Once you get to the STAR ID self-service website, you will choose the option that says, "What is my STAR ID?" Please also use this option for resetting your password. From here, choose the option that says, "I know my email address." Type in the email address you used to apply to St. Cloud State or another Minnesota State institution, then click Continue. A verification code will be sent to the email that you provided. Type in this verification code and click Continue. On the next screen, you will see your STAR ID at the top of the screen. Please make sure to write this down. It will also ask you to reset your password here, then select the checkbox, and then click Set Password. Students can now return to the application and continue with Log In with existing STAR ID. Students that do not have a STAR ID should select Create Your STAR ID. You will be asked to enter in your first name, last name, and email address. Please make sure to use your legal name. Do not use a nickname. Your email address should not be your high school email address, as you will most likely lose access to it after high school graduation. Please also don't use your parents' email address. Students should be using their own personal email address. Enter in a password, then select the box and click Get My STAR ID. On the next screen, you will be given a new STAR ID. Please make sure to store your STAR ID and password in a safe place. You will need it again during the application process and in the future to register and access your academic record. From here, you can continue your application.
After logging in, the first page of the application is your first and last name and email address. Please use the same email address that is associated with your STAR ID. The next page is your social security number and birth date. Please complete both fields. Veteran status is next. Please, you do not need to complete this field. There is no red asterisk. Then you will select Next. If you'd like to complete the parent education, please do so. If not, it is not required. You will continue to citizenship. This is a required field for the application. Please see this red asterisk. At this time, you'll select whether or not you are a U.S. citizen, an international visa holder, or other. The next required field is your residency in the state of Minnesota. Please select Yes and list how many years and months you have lived in the state. The next section of the online application is your address. Please add a permanent address to your application. You will select permanent address and list your street address, city, and zip code. After clicking next, you will enter a contact phone number. We recommend listing the student's phone number or a home phone number, not a parent's phone number. The next section is education. You must list whether or not you are currently a high school student. At this time, you will select your high school. First, you will select Minnesota, search for your high school, and then you will select your graduation year. Typically, it is June of the year you graduate, so 06/20/21, and then you will click Next. You will then come to the education section, and you can just continue to click Next through this section because this information is not required. You will also click through the colleges and universities attended. At this time, the application requires confidential or demographic information. You must select your sex shown on your official documents, and then you may select gender and race or ethnic background. At that time, you will select continue to major. If you are applying right now and hope to take senior to sophomore classes in the fall, you will select fall. If you are applying for a different term, select a different term. If the term is not listed, select the term closest to your date, and we will adjust that on the back end. Then you will hit Next. For the application type, it is important that you select the post-secondary enrollment options and hit Next. The education intent, you will select complete courses but not a degree, and you will select part-time. Then you will hit Next. Academic program, please hit Next. And then for the application campus, it is essential that you select senior to sophomore program and hit Next. You will answer whether or not you have attended St. Cloud State University before and click to additional. Activities and sports are not required, so you will scroll to the bottom and select review. At this time, you will review all things listed on your application, and you will select Continue to Submit Application. At this time, you will select all and enter your Star ID password. At that time, you will select Submit Application.
If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to us by emailing us at S2S@stcloudstate.edu.